How do I do that?
Well, first you should probably find the height and width of the whole thing just so you can center it.
So you need to find the height and the width of the whole thing, just so that you can center it. And remember the video.
Yeah.
Get height is the
That's
method you use to get the whole height of the.
Width.
Oops. Yes. Good observation.
The teachers will say that. Oh, I did that on purpose. Yeah, I know. They'll be like, I wanted to see if you would notice. You're just like, yeah, sure. Why not?
And then from this, I can quickly derive center x equals width divided by 2. And then I can quickly define center y is 8 divided by 2. And then I want to put a square here. So now what should I do? Yeah. I need to have a GRAC.
It's capital R.
This is
And then
proper
name
P. Anyone remember what should I put in here?
The coordinates.
So one trick here is that you hover your cursor in here. Eclipse actually tells you what you're supposed to put in there.
So it's the first two doubles are the coordinates, and then the second two doubles are the
height and width.
Yeah, of the box.
Okay. So where should I put the left corner? So we want the center at this position, right?
Yeah.
So which means that this point is the center x minus half of this width, right? Yeah. So if I know the width of the box, so box width. So I need to define a value for the width of the box. For instance, I define a 100. It doesn't matter, we can change it later. And then we can also define similarly a
height. 50.
Of the,
yeah, but this place doesn't like it.
So we know that, as we said, that the x of this corner, which is this length, should be the center minus the width of the box. So we here is that center x minus box width divided by 2. Yes.
You can also say 50, but then you'd have to change that if you change the box.
So and then where do we want to put in here? I'm not sure actually. In this place, that since there are 2 rows, maybe I want to put 1/3 of the way up, right? And then, so which means that I don't need a center y. I need third y, which is
Up 30.
up 30. Anyway, so up third y,
Oh, I thought it
and then minus similarly half of the box 8, and then we divide it by 2, and then the width is box width, and the height is box.
Wait.
Hey.
You don't have to subtract the box height divided by 2. Because it measures from the bottom, right? So you don't have to minus it, do you?
I thought you told me that
I
this.
didn't minus it,
So I thought you told me this value is actually this height here, right? Because the first two x and y specified this point right here.
I thought it was the bottom left corner.
Oh, you saw this one. You know what?
Was words. That was words.
We can find out. So how do we find out? Okay, so see the Stanford. So this is our Stanford website and software. ACM package. This is what we use, right? And then we go to Java doc, and then we go to Rect.
It's up there.
And then here, this one is we're using, right? This tells us the x-coordinate of the upper left corner. So I was right.
Yeah, the lower left corner is the words. It's G label.
Yes, G label specifies the lower left corner, which is tricky. And this is very important when later you become a real programmer. Every time you program, you're building on top someone else's work. And here, the someone else you're building on top of is called ACM libraries. And to be able to use others' work, you need to know exactly what do they mean. And they should provide a documentation. And in this case, the documentation is here. So here is whenever you have doubt, you go here and find out what do they mean. Okay? So this is the place. And we can actually do an experiment here. So add. And let's run it and see what's so program. So that's look like a center, and this is where we wanted to put it. And we can change this. So for instance, I think this can be larger, and this can be smaller. Now it will become something like narrow ones, and I run it again. We have a narrow box, but still, it's still centered.
Yeah.
Now, the next step is to put a label at the center of this rectangle. So, how do we put a label? Well, it seems that we can easily have a G label program. New G label So again, hover your cursor, it tells you you can actually specify a string or specify a string with left bottom corner. So this is left bottom corner. You can actually verify that going to the document I just showed you. And here, I don't specify anything. Let's see what happens. Program. So try that. Where is it? It's somewhere here.
Oh, there. Yeah, because you have to put it back in the box.
So I need to put it somewhere here, right? How do I decide? How do I calculate this position? So how do I calculate this position?
So you like
Anyone else? Yes?
you divide the height of the box by 2 or
And
something.
then you divide the length of the word by 2 and go left.
Again, we know this position, right? This position is basically center X up 31, up 31. So this is here, this is right here. And then you want to decide this one, is that this minus half of,
No,
okay.
width.
So which means that, well, we have another program. So there's another trick. So if you say program and then you put dot here, Eclipse gave you all the available methods here.
And then if you want more specific, you can type in the first one.
And then there's a thing called set location. And then this set the this gave you this here you need to specify the left bottom corner. And we already see that the left corner is the center minus the width of the label minus 2. So here is center X minus something minus divided by 2. What is that? Here we need to fill in the width of that label. And this thing has a method tells you the width. Yes, Sophia?
It says in the weird handout thingamabob that you have to put your name, the name, and dot get width or get a set.
So the width of the class box should be specified, name constant. We'll actually talk about name constant later. The labels should be centered in their boxes. The width of the label you can get by calling label.getWidth. And our label here is program. So we can get the width of that label by calling program.getWidth. Here. And then 30. This is the center. And then we need to add. So now it's add instead of minus because it's bottom.
Yeah.
So again, program.get height minus 2. And then let's see what will happen this time. Look like we did it.
Yeah, it's like not centered. It is centered.
It's not like perfect.
It looks like a little bit downward.
Oh, whatever. Maybe you don't have to do the minus part.
Which one?
I mean the adding part. Maybe, yeah.
Let's try
Just
it.
try it. Because
Copy it.
you can do Command C, which I'm going to explain. Well, but you could
Divide
also
that in half.
wait. But you could also not minus anything from box height and make both of them up 30, or I mean up third Y, and just not minus box height divided
But
by
anyway, so what you're showing is that we can actually add something like a program dot get height. Instead of times 2, we can actually get times divided by 3. So we actually move down a little bit smaller amount, and then we run it again, and
Yay.
looks better.
Oh, it's right.
Oh.
Okay, so that's how we're gonna do it. But anyway, you got the thing is that the centerpiece of this assignment here is to figure out where to put those things. And by using the information you can get from your environment and then your mind to calculate where should you put things.
Yeah.
Okay? And then you see that I constructed this. And later you can construct these wait, I want to say
Where do you put the other 2 boxes?
we
I mean
do-
3. You instead of one, you multiply 2 times.
Okay, we can actually do that here. So this one, maybe the center is what do you say the center should be? For instance, this one. Remember this one. This one, the center coordinate.
The x value is the same as the top one, just a different
Just
y
a second,
value.
just a second. So the center of this box plus label is this coordinate, center x and upside y. So these two composed of the center of that box. And then we can actually construct another box with another center value. So for instance, we can do a we can copy this. And then make it another thing. So for instance, I can construct this console. So we rename this as console. And then this is the same here. And this is console. What? Of course that we cannot do this because this will center that second labeled box on the exact same position. We want to put it somewhere else. And since that when we construct this group, we're basically centering around these 2 variables. The first one is center x, and second is upside y, which dictate where the center of that group is. The group composed a rectangle and a label. And then here we just need to change the center position of this one. So where do you think the center position of this one should be?
Just the same center position as the
Center, yes, the x is the same. but
Y.
y is actually different. So we can do something like a lower y, such as h.
2 times height over 3.
Okay, so and then we replace this with lower y, and then let's run it.
Yeah.
Now I can actually email this program to you, and then you go home and finish
the rest.
the rest, which is this part and this part, and then the line should be simple.
Just draw.
Yes?
Is it okay if my program looks different because I use different number value things?
Okay. Yes. You have freedom exactly where you put it, but you get the idea how to make the calculation and how to think about the way you formulate the position. So go back home and finish this, and then